Hi, and thanks for joining us here at Urban Nights Update. Pucci Cancun is joining me, and I'm Linda Camacho. Here's what's going on. An exciting historical moment for Diana Rome, who just finished her election to the Virginia House of Delegates. She's not only won, she's also gained hope and respect from the transgenders all across the country, along with the title for being the first proud transgender candidate to serve in the state office. In her acceptance speech, she states, "You're not defined by who you are. It's about what you can do, so don't let anyone tell you different." This victory is leading many other states to start considering anti-trans legislation in 2018. Ellen Page has recently accused director Brett Ratner for being a homophobic. He outed her at the meet and greet earlier this month, suggesting to a woman to have sex with Page to make her realize, quote, she is gay. Page opens up about the comment on a Facebook status she posted. "I felt violated when it happened," she states. "This public aggressive outing made me feel ashamed, one of the most destructive results of homophobia." Ratner has been accused of sexually harassing not one, but 6 women just last week. He is claiming all the allegations are false.
On Monday, a new accuser emerged to accuse Roy Moore of sexually assaulting her as a teenager in the late 1970s. Moore strongly denied it, even as his own party's leader intensified their effort to push him out of the race for the open seat Senate. Moore said, "I can tell you without hesitation this is absolutely false. I never did what she said I did. I don't even know the woman." President Donald Trump has been informed about Roy Moore's accusation and has not been able to speak out on the issue just yet due to the fact that he is currently in Asia. However, he said he will give his thoughts on the issue when he returns from Asia this week. But for now, Roy Moore is under investigation.
Donald Trump visited Asia, and many other foreign leaders believe Trump delivered one of the most effective foreign policy speeches of Trump's presidency. As Trump wants to keep North Korea in check, North Korea released a statement saying Trump is a lunatic and the U.S. citizens need to get him out of office at once. Trump responded to these comments by saying, quote, "Why would Kim Jong-un insult me, ... when I would never call him short and fat?" Although the talks with foreign leaders went well, President Trump also finds a way to find the headlines.
President Trump announced his nominating Alex Azar to be Department of Health and Human Services Secretary. Azar was an executive for a pharmaceutical company but resigned due to accusation of him using charter jets with taxpayers' money. Azar said he found his life calling and that it is helping people live longer and healthier. Elena went and talked to some people about becoming president and what they would change once they got into office.
Provide more social assistance for people who need it.
First thing I do is definitely build like world relations, because America and like the world itself and other countries are pretty like screwed up.
I'm a designer in technology, so if you apply design to the government and pretty much make it more efficient, fix all the communication loopholes, make everything transparent.
You would change and why? Alrighty. And so if you just hold this, you can just hold this right there.
Get lower.
Yeah. And just look at me and ignore the camera.
Okay. If I was elected president, one thing I would change is better support for other countries suffering right now.
26 churchgoers died in the Sutherland Springs, Texas. 58 country music fans were killed in a mass shooting in Las Vegas. Alongside so many other mass shootings in the past years, President Trump does not believe that these mass shootings were because of gun laws in the country. People feel that the gun laws need to be changed and need to add a heavier policy for people who own guns and who are trying to purchase them.
A mountain lion was recorded on security camera at 5 a.m. in Sea Cliff outside of the home of Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff. They are unsure of how the mountain lion got over the sea cliff unnoticed. The mountain lion was tranquilized twice by the fish and wildfire officer. They are running blood tests to see the genetic of the 82-pound male cougar. They are saying he most likely is from the peninsula unless he ran across the Golden Gate Bridge. Feeling emotionally happier and physically healthier is everyone's goal. Can we achieve this goal with doing an extreme sport? I have more on that.
Climbing mountain is a healthy physical exercise that creates wonderful memories. It provides opportunity to slow down and disconnect. Moreover, hiking teaches us important truths about life. Aldi, a 21-year-old professional photographer, traveled around the world to climb mountains.
So far, I've hiked around 10 mountains across 3 continents, 2 in Asia, 5 in North America, and 3 in South America. I love climbing mountain because I could find a solitude and escape myself from the crowded place in the city. Since I love traveling around the world, seeing different landscape from the peak of the mountain give me peace and energy.
Aldi said that he feels emotionally happier and physically healthier by climbing mountains. He also shared several setbacks that take part in his journey.
One of my most memorable experience is when I climbed Mount Whitney. It was in late October, and when I'm about to reach the peak, the weather suddenly turned worse. It was really cold and I was shaking and almost suffered from hypothermia.
The risk and adrenaline involved in mountain climbing are the 2 things that make Aldi addicted to the activity. He loves the challenge so much that he has set a goal to climb 7 mountains in 2018.
Hiking is a great way to get outdoors, but there are a few things you should always bring to make every hike a good hike. Aldi shows us the essentials.
So this is a portable stove to cook meal while I'm climbing mountain. This is the hiking pole, and this 4 item is my survival kit.
For you who enjoy outdoor sports and activity, mountain hiking is very recommended to try. Don't forget to bring the essentials. In San Francisco, I'm Putri Tanjung for Urban Nights Update.
Mount Tamalpais in Bay Area will be the best place to go for those who are interested in trying mountaineering.
A lot has been going on in the world of sports. Let's go to Anthony Silva for more.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's sports segment. Let's start with ArtU women's volleyball. They played Dixie State Sunday afternoon. Unfortunately, in 4 sets that were decided by 3 points or less, ArtU ended up falling to Dixie State 3-1. Through the match, down 8-7 in the first set, ArtU unleashed a 10-2 run, highlighted by 3 kills from senior Bailey Suzma. However, Dixie State had the last laugh as they came back in the opening set, winning 25-22 after a 13-3 response. With 8 ties initially, the teams only saw separation after the tie in the second set. 4 unanswered points by the Trailblazers resulted in a 25-22 victory for Dixie State. ArtU drops to 5-20 overall and 2-16 in conference play. Not the best season to say the least, but they will conclude their season on the 17th against Point Loma. Next up, ArtU women's basketball. They played Cal State East Bay on Saturday. Though the Pioneers led by as many as 5 in the first quarter, they were up 14 and dominated the second quarter. Senior guard Jaslyn Brewster scored 8 points for AAU in the first quarter alone. 3 straight baskets from Cal State gave them the lead at the start of the second quarter. That margin held up until the second half, where in the third quarter, junior center Mariana Witt converted a layup and sophomore forward Ines Medina shot a 3-pointer to give ArtU a lead and also a 5-0 run. But then Cal State East Bay came back as they also dominated throughout the game, as it was 53-50 with 2 minutes to play. And the Pioneers went on to win the game 56-52. The Academy of Art opens their 27 2017 season campaign 0-2. Unfortunately for the other basketball team, the men's basketball team had some trouble last night. They lost their season opener to San Francisco State 72-65 on Saturday. Academy of Art took their first lead after junior center Cameron Nevin got his first 2 points. From there, the lead changed twice before the Knights scored 17 unanswered points to take a 26-10 lead. The Knights maintained their advantage as they went into halftime with a commanding 9-point lead. SF State started to play like SF State. They had 3-pointers that could not be answered by AAU, and Art U's lead really shrunk to just 3 points. Junior guard Cole Morgan responded with a layup to regain the 5-point advantage. However, the Gators managed to pull even at 39 points. From there, they went on a 23-8 run. Yeah, 23-8, taking their biggest lead of the night. With just 9 seconds to play, SF State had a 3-point lead, but a pair of free throws, it clinched it, and the Gators win 72-65. On to professional basketball. The Golden State Warriors. Kevin Durant was ready to play against Philadelphia after sitting out Golden State's big win against the Timberwolves as he had a bruised left thigh injury. The Warriors played the Sixers Saturday night, looking for its 6th consecutive win. Golden State shot 25 for 26 from the foul line and almost 59% from the field. Though it was a tight first half with the defending champs, Golden State started to play like the Warriors, and they laid down the hammer as they went on a 20-4 run and outscoring the Sixers 36-21. In that quarter alone, Golden State shot 14 for 25 from the field, and Philadelphia was piling up those bricks. The Warriors went on to take the win 135-114, and during this 6-game winning streak, they are beating opponents on an average of 17 points. The San Francisco 49ers won their first game of the season. We should throw a party, shouldn't we? The Giants were defeated 31-21. The game wasn't as close as you think. A touchdown in garbage time from the Giants made it a 10-point margin. New York took a 13-10 lead in the second quarter before the 49ers went on a 21-0 run. San Francisco's first touchdown came midway through the second quarter. Quarterback C.J. Beathard found tight end Garrett Selleck, a Stanford boy, for a 47-yard touchdown. San Francisco opened the final quarter facing the 3rd and 2 from the Giants' 11-yard line. Beathard ran the ball in for an 11-yard touchdown to put the 49ers up 24-13. That was Beathard's 3rd career touchdown run. The rookie is definitely stepping up, and on top of that, the Niners get their first win of the season, 31-21. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for joining me. I'm Anthony Silva, and back to you guys.
UCLA is getting their 3 big-time players back in Jalen Hill. Jalen Hill, Cody Riley, and Ball brother LiAngelo Ball were accused of shoplifting in Louis Vuitton store in China. All charges were dropped, and the players are heading back to Los Angeles, where they will prepare for their basketball season. Consider this a slap on the wrist for the young basketball star. Sydel Curry, the younger sister of Stephen Curry, is getting married to the Warriors G League player Damian Lee. They went on Instagram to announce the engagement, with Sydel saying, "Tonight I said yes to the man of my dreams and I couldn't be more happy. I love you, Damian Lee, and can't wait to be your wife." She played volleyball at Elon University and owns her own lifestyle and fashion website called A Curry Girl. While her fiancé Lee was originally at Maine Red Clouds and moving to Santa Cruz Warriors in August. Congrats to Sydel and Damian.
For the latest news in the world of entertainment, we take you to Chris Petrozzi.
Thanks, Linda. Wonder Woman star Gal Gadot is continuing to battle accused Hollywood sexual harasser Brett Ratner by refusing to sign to make another Wonder Woman sequel. Ratner's production company, Rat Pack Dune Entertainment, helped produce Wonder Woman as part of a financing deal with Warner Bros. The movie made a splash at the box office, recording over $400 million in its run. People close to Gal Gadot say the only way that Gal will even think about doing another sequel to Wonder Woman as if Ratner is completely out of the picture. Good news for all you Star Wars fans out there. Lucasfilms has recently announced that it will continue on with the franchise through the development of a new trilogy of movies. This comes after Lucasfilms will get set to release The Last Jedi, which will be the 8th edition of the Star Wars series. The Last Jedi is scheduled to hit theaters December 15th, so let's take a look at a sneak peek on the highly anticipated film.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
Let the past die. Kill it. If you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be.
Country singer Carrie Underwood was hospitalized over the weekend after she reportedly fell while walking down her steps just outside her home in Nashville. She suffered multiple injuries from the accident, including a broken wrist and several cuts and abrasions, but nothing life-threatening. Hours after the incident, Carrie Underwood had this to say on Twitter: "Thanks so much for all the well wishes, everybody. I'll be all right. Might just take some time. Glad I've got the best hubby in the world to take care of me." If you're a fan of the Patriots and quarterback Tom Brady, getting his signature won't be so easy. The quarterback announced that he'll be hosting a private signing session later this month, but the prices for his autographs have fans shaking their heads. Item prices range from $1,000 for a signed football, $900 for a signed photo, to a mini helmet for $850. This should be good news for people who already have Tom's signature, as the signed item should hold significant value in the future. That's all the news in the world of entertainment. Now back to Linda.
Thanks, Chris. Phishing is more common than you think, but I don't mean fishing by the lake. I mean cyber thieves stealing your personal information online. According to studies by Google and UC Berkeley, thousands of people's Google accounts were hacked. The cyber thieves tricked people into handing over personal information, and they used keyloggers to record every key someone's pressed while using a computer. To avoid being hacked, choose a password with a mix of sample uppercases and lowercases numbers and letters.
Recently, Facebook tried a fake news experiment to tackle their problem of fake news, but the experiment was criticized by many frustrated users. Facebook started every news feed with the word fake, which led to confused users. They didn't know which news was true or fake. In a statement, Facebook said, "We are always working on ways to curb the spread of misinformation on our platform, and sometimes run tests to find new ways to do this." The experiment has since ended. 1 week has passed since the iPhone X hit the market, with many new excitement features like the Face ID, the OLED display, and the home button. There are also some problems that come with the new iPhone. The size of the product makes the keyboard much smaller, and some of the features in Safari has been lost. Also, it is not very one-hand friendly because it is all screen, so using one hand will make it hard to reach out to the corners, even though it says that the iPhone is the future.
Talking about iPhones, are you one of those who gets an A and a quote mark, say I? Then you are not alone. The issue began when people started updating their iPhones to the version 11.1 of the iOS operating system. iPhone users have shown the feeling on social media. One wrote that this is super annoying. Apple has not given an explanation on what the cause of the problem is, but they say it will be fixed by installing the next latest software update.
Millions of people play the lottery and buy scratchers daily. Everyone wants to be a winner, but there is more you should know about hitting the lottery. Alina Salmon has more.
If you hit on one of the various lottery games, the store must pay you up to $599 or less. Any amount over 600 must be taken or shipped to the lottery district office. If you don't win, there's always second chance play. There's a code on the bottom of the ticket that can be scanned through your smartphone. This will put your account in a second chance draw. When the lottery is hit, the lottery automatically takes out 25% of your winnings for the IRS, and any prize over $5,000 are subject to 33% withholdings.
The lottery is worth having in your store. If a customer wins, the store wins. Keith Jackson was a past lottery winner.
Well, I won before. I had 5 numbers and I was only 1 number away from millions. So I had to share amongst the pot that was shared amongst 17 other people, which left me at 34,000. And I think if I keep playing, I can win the whole thing.
Retailers get paid through the sale of scratcher tickets. With increase in sale, the lottery will provide the store with a lottery machine.
Because the lottery, they can bring a lot of customers here, and then we can make some money. And the best is if I have people with big jackpot, I can win some money. Sending me scratcher, I think every 2 weeks, and if I sold it, they take, I think after 1 month, they can take money from my bank. But every ticket I sold, I can get 6 cents.
Remember, you must be 18 or older to play. Are you in it to win it? I'm Lena Simon with KR Update.
That will be life-changing to win big money. Thanks, Alina.
The cost of housing has forced Hashneng, a student at UC Berkeley, to live in a bus. Cost of housing at the school is roughly $1,500 a month. So instead of that, the purchase of the actual bus and all the refurbishing costs was a total of $2,000 for Ning. He said, quote, "I just went on Craigslist almost every day, and what I found about the bus 2 months later, it was my semester was starting and this didn't make any sense. Despite the unavailability of affordable housing, Kang has embraced his unconfidential style of living and believes it has improved his habits and lifestyle for the better. Living and going to school in the Bay Area can be extremely costly, but added being a student athlete into the mix, and things can become even more difficult. Isaiah met the Desmond Deshay to see how he makes the best of living in San Francisco.
Recruited to be a track athlete, Desmond Deshay came all the way from Minnesota to attend Academy of Art. However, the cost of his major and living expenses has taken the sport away.
My old school ended up cutting our track program entirely, so that kind of drove me here, and so I ended up joining the team and was basically competing for a scholarship. Ended up getting offered a little bit, but it wasn't enough financially to cover myself, to cover rent, so I had to fortunately let track go, but the trade-off was being able to study fashion more and actually, end up working and kind of just building up responsibilities, paying rent, paying insurance, stuff like that. So with the trade-off of, releasing track, I also just got to grow more as a person, as a, adult, mature more, and so really got to kind of just focus on my craft and what I truly love doing, and that's fashion.
With the expenses of the school and living in San Francisco, Desmond had to get a job to support himself. Jeff Rad, a financial advisor at Academy of Art, can certainly understand why.
Biggest concerns that some students have that I deal with when dealing with financial aid and finances in general is just the affordability of living in San Francisco, compounded by the affordability of the school. That's when the concerns sort of set in about how to address that dollar amount.
The question truly becomes, are the opportunities presented in San Francisco worth all the money that has to be put into it? Desmond Deshay certainly thinks so.
It was worth it, and it costs a lot. It costs a lot to live here, a lot more than back at home, but San Francisco is such a fashion-dominated city, and so it's great to live here. It's at Academy of Art, there's so many connections, your professors and teachers, they just know so much, and there's a lot of things that this school gives me that I couldn't have if I was just, solo. And this city as well gives me a lot of great things, so it was definitely worth it.
At the end of the day, the cost of living is high, but you can't put a price on great opportunities. I'm Isaiah Quiroz in San Francisco with your Urban Nights Update.
Thanks for that, Isaiah. Always nice seeing students making the best out of tough situations.
From one student to another, Clara Tellentrope invited Christina Gross to talk about her fashion.
Thank you. With me in the studio, I have Christina Gross from the fashion department. Welcome. Christina, why fashion?
Because I love being creative, and I tried to study business, but this was kind of more confusing and a lot of numbers, although I love maths. But here I can express myself more through art and doing my own designs. That's why I chose that.
How do you find your inspiration?
I look a lot through the medias, like social networks, Instagram, Facebook, not that much. Like also magazines, the Vogue magazine, the Elle magazine, Harper's Bazaar, all these fashion-related magazines.
So, and who is your role model? Who do you trying to be like?
I really favor the Karl Lagerfeld, the designer for Chanel, because I love the haute couture fashion, and in my opinion, he does really great designs. I also like the brand Ralph & Russo, also haute couture. But on the other side, I also love the brand Stella McCartney, and this designer, because she's using very environmental friendly products and fabrics for that, and she really cares about the environment. And I love the collaboration with Adidas, because...
Me too.
Yeah, that's really, really cool, right? Because my passion is tennis, and she combines the sports with really spectacular designs.
Is that something you would like to do too? Combine tennis?
I'm thinking about that.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
What is your? What do you want to do after you're graduating here?
I thought about opening my own business, like being independent, my own boss. Or I also thought about being a designer at the brand, like maybe a sports brand or haute couture brand.
Okay. Do you want to stay here afterwards, or do you want to move somewhere else?
I thought of going to a more like a fashion metropole, like maybe New York or Paris or London.
Okay, so I have a few questions too.
Yeah, sure.
So
go for it.
New York or Paris?
I would say New York.
Ralph Lauren or Coco Chanel?
Coco Chanel.
High heels or sneakers?
High heels.
Less is more or more is less?
Less is more.
And the last one, pants or dress?
A dress.
Okay. Thank you, Christina, for joining me.
You're
Back
welcome.
to you.
Sneakers are very trendy in today's society. Big brands constantly release exclusive shoes that people can't wait to get their hands on. Jonathan Navarro shows us the latest in sneaker news.
Hello everybody, thanks for joining me. I'm Jonathan Navarro, and today we will take a dive into the sneaker world. We'll check out a bit of history of a certain sneaker and upcoming releases. As some of you may know, reselling popular sneakers is very profitable. According to Josh Luber of StockX, it's become $1 billion industry. There was one shoe that really ignited the reselling industry. Back in February of 2005, Nike released the Pigeon Dunk in New York. People wanted them so bad that a riot broke out. Nothing like this had happened before, so the next day, the sneaker release riot was on the front cover of the New York Post. The aftermath of the sneaker release was unheard of since they were so exclusive. According to StockX, the average resale value to date is $6,200. That's quite the markup value considering the shoe's retail value was just $200. If you don't want to pay the price to grab a pair of the collectible shoes, you're in luck. Just this past weekend, Nike released a new version of the Pigeon Dunk. 12 years later, the designer of the shoes, Jeff Staple, teamed up with Nike again to bring back a bit of history. The shoe was released on Saturday, November 11th. This shoe featured a bold black colorway with the red sole, and of course, the iconic pigeon in the heel area. The shoes sold for a retail price of $110 and were available at select Nike SB stores and Nike.com. Of course, the sneakers once again sold out quickly. If you missed out on these, you can still purchase them through resellers. On the bright side, the resale value isn't as absurd as the first release of the Nike Pigeon Dunks. They're being sold online for an average of $280. The resale for these Pigeon Dunks isn't as high as the first release due to the fact that Nike SB Dunks aren't as popular as they used to be. Competitor Adidas is hugely responsible for this with their extremely popular line of Yeezy sneakers designed by rapper Kanye West. If you want to get your hands on a pair of Yeezys, the next release for Yeezys will be on November 18th in the frozen yellow colorway. A week later, on November 25th, the Beluga 2.0 will also be released. Kanye fans will surely appreciate the release of two hot sneakers in the span of just 7 days. As always, the shoes will be very exclusive and hard to get. Best of luck to everybody hoping to purchase a pair of the Yeezys. That's all I have for the latest in the sneaker world. I'm Jonathan Navarro. Back to you.
Thanks, Jonathan. Good news despite the mass destruction of the wildfires in Napa country. Last month, as far as the wineries, everything is still virtually intact and open. The chief winemaker sampled fermented wines and they have not been damaged and still taste great. Bakers' art galleries and hot air balloons triple and available to visitors everywhere. So be sure to take a nice weekend to wine country. Many businesses are hoping to receive visitors that have ensured that everything is safe for the public.
Holiday season is coming up and it's a huge success for the San Francisco International Airport. People are arriving and departing from the international airport and on average of 155,000 per day. Spokesperson Doug Yekel confirmed that Friday before Thanksgiving will be the busiest day at SFO. And if you're looking for a mellow in your life, then Friday after will be the slowest and cheapest time for air travel.
CorgiCon is an event held twice a year, once in the fall and another in the summertime, where corgis can be themselves while digging and running in the sand at Ocean Beach. Sterling Hawkins has more.
CorgiCon just finished this Saturday. It was from 10 to 2 with corgis being celebrated from their stubby legs to their big derrieres. The event is twice a year, once in the summer and another in the fall at Ocean Beach. They have volunteers scattered throughout the small part of the beach that do sometimes small but important jobs.
Told us to stay here and refill the water for the dogs.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
They all have different personalities in their tiny bodies, and they showed it off with competition. And as well as dressing up with costumes like mermaids, dragons, or even cops and robbers. And they even have a little fun digging too.
CorgiCon is not just a place where corgis can meet up. There's also Queen's Best Rescue, which rehabilitates, saves, and adopts corgis.
Queen's Best takes care of all different types of corgis, from special needs to mixed breeds. The organization emphasizes their care for the animals by making sure all of their dogs go into the right homes. If not ready, they go into a foster home so they can get one-on-one attention. You can donate or volunteer at Queen's Best Stumpy Dog Rescue at www.queensbeststumpydogrescue.com. Jessica's dogs were adopted as well and are extremely happy. They are not what you'd expect a corgi could be.
Obedience training, agility, rally, and some other kind of dog sports. And I'm here in Berkeley to run a half marathon in November, and he's training with me, so.
There were more than 1,000 corgis there and many other dogs that took side stage as the day was coming to an end. Hopefully, more corgis will join next summer in July for more festivities. In San Francisco, I'm Sterling Hawkins on Urban Nights Update.
You can find more information at corgicon.com, where it will show the next Corgi meetup.
Thanks so much, sir. That's a wrap for today for Urban Nights Update. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Take care.